Good morning or good afternoon. In this video, I'm going to go through step by step this workbook creating your SharePoint site. I'm going to go between different windows. If you click on the green workbook, okay, it takes you to this page, okay, accessing your SharePoint site. Now there is a link before you do, well, you can do that. If you right click, open in a new tab, because you're going to go from the workbook to your SharePoint site. When you see your SharePoint site, okay, along the top you have the classes and the teachers' names. Have the classes and the teachers' names. So you need to click on your class number. For this experiment, I'm going to click on a member of work group 4, and you'll see your businesses. I'm going to be editing Find Your Way. Okay. So you clicked on your class number, click on your group number, save this page to your favourites. Very important. Now, each of your class, there's a group already set up and there's a list on Moodle. And in your groups, you have been allocated a managerial role. And earlier this week, you created a taxonomy. Okay, I'm going to go to the next page. Okay. Now, this is my CEO taxonomy. You will use your taxonomy to organise, plan and classify your data in your SharePoint site. So this is an example of a CEO taxonomy, and it's only a demonstration. You have your own taxonomies. Okay. Eventually that paper document, the taxonomy, should be in your library. Okay. Okay. CEO. The first thing you're going to do is create a CEO library. Okay. Now the workbook I'm looking at, okay, takes you through step by step, but I'm going to do the video as well. So this is my taxonomy. Let's see what we should do next. Okay. The workbook tells you, it gives you a description of a document library. It stores your files to share with your co-workers. Okay. The name of your library will be the department allocated to you in your group. Don't use spaces in any names, libraries lists, okay? So my CEO taxonomy, I've planned to create a library called CEO. Yours will be different, okay? The video, I'll take you through step by step, or you can use the workbook. So I'm going to go to the SharePoint page. I'm using Find Your Way Business for this example. I want a new document library. I'm going to call it my department. I'm going to spell it correctly, CEO. Remember to use capital letters, HR. Your finance, capital F. Description, okay, I'm not going to put a description in at the moment. Or you could, if you wanted to, you could just call it your department library. Show in site navigation, we'll put a little tick there and create. Okay, so in Find Your Way, my document library has been set up. Okay, and I've done exactly what the workbook said. Okay, as discussed in the lecture, we're not using folders, we're using metadata, information about information, in line with MIS course Management Information Policy. Okay, for this I'm going to Document Library, Document Settings, Library Settings. Okay, so I'm in my library. Here is Library Settings. Okay, slightly different change to SharePoint. Okay, you've got more library settings. More library settings. Okay. And this is your library settings. And you can see there's lots of information. Okay. It might take you a while to read through that information. What we need to find is advanced settings. Any page with lots of information and you want to find something, Control F, and we want to find advanced settings. Okay, and it's taken me to advanced settings. Okay. Okay, and it wants us to make new folder command available no. So let's have a look. We can't find it. Control F, make new folder command available no. And OK. Go back to my workbook. I've done everything it's asked me to. The next page. Okay. I'm going to create a SharePoint list. A collection of data with some structure. Could be a table or a spreadsheet. This is a demonstration of how to create my list. So you're creating it from your taxonomy. Okay. Excuse me. The first blue box in my taxonomy is departments, and I've got HR, finance, IT, marketing and sales. I'm going to create a lookup column. The lookup column looks for information in a list. Looks for information in a list. So I need to make HR, finance, IT, marketing, sales a list. Okay. Don't do this at your library level, you do it at site level. So go to Home, New, List. I want to create a blank list. Okay, we've got to name it. We've got to name it correctly. I'm going to call mine CEO underscore. I'm going to check with my taxonomy. Let's go with departments. CEO department list. Make sure you use the correct capital letters. Make sure you use the correct underscore. Very important, show on navigation, take the tick away. Let's see if the workbook says that. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to create. So in my list, I want HR, finance, IT, marketing. Let's see what the next page says. We're going to populate the list. Okay. So edit in grid. Edit in grid. Okay. So you're going between workbooks, SharePoint, and maybe your taxonomy. Okay. My taxonomy, HR, finance, marketing, sales. Okay. HR, tab, finance, marketing, sales. I want it all professional, no spelling mistakes, using capital letters. Okay. When you've finished your list, you'll probably have 3 things on your list. You just click Exit Grid View. Okay, and you have your list. It's not in your library, it's at the home page. Okay. From that list, we're going to create a lookup column. It's going to look for information in the list. Okay. There's 2 ways to do it, and that's in the workbook. Okay. A department. Okay. Well, a department lookup list. Okay. So it says navigate to your library, CEO. There are different ways to do this column. You can click here, add a column, okay, create a lookup column, checking my taxonomy. It's a lookup column for departments. I'm going to call it departments. Again, making sure you spell correctly. I'm going to describe it. Departments for CEO. It's a lookup column. Okay. I want more options. Okay. Select a column for the list. Okay, lookup. Select a list as a resource. CEO departments list. Okay. Make sure you've got title here. Is that all I need to do? I'll check that with a workbook. Required information is always required information. Scroll down. Is always yes. Why would I have a column if information wasn't required? Okay, add information and then save. Okay, and you'll see I have a column for departments. Okay, in the workbook it shows you two ways to do things. I've shown you one way. If you want the next way, that's up to you. The next one, again, demonstration from my taxonomy, is a choice column. Okay, so on my taxonomy, I had in a blue box document type, and I went to make a choice of these three things. Okay, so before we went add a column, I'll show you the other way. You could go to library settings, more settings, and create a column. It takes a little bit more time this way. Okay, and I want it to be document type. I want it to be a choice column. Then you must required information, yes, always required. And now I'm going to type in my three choices, which are monthly budget reports. Next one, executive decisions. Next one, annual reports. Checking all the time, correct spelling, capital letters. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. This is the way I did it. Choice menu, require information. I'm going to use a drop down menu, so I'm going to just make sure, yep, it's drop down menu. Okay. And then OK. I'll go to the CEO library, created two columns, departments and document types. Back to the workbook, page 5, another choice column. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the choice column until I've got 4 columns. Okay. Okay, so I've done document types. The next one, I'm going to do contracts. I'm going to do it the easy way. Add a column, choice column. It's going to be called contracts. Okay. This time I've got choices like this. Okay. Contracts, yearly, 6 monthly and monthly. Okay, yearly, 6 monthly. Monthly and monthly. Default value, no. More options. Drop down menu, require information, yes. Have a look. Exactly what we did last time. And save. Okay. Now I've got departments, documents, and contracts. Okay. So my next one is renewable contracts. That's the next column. It's going to be, I'm going to have a choice, yes or no. Renewable contracts. So add a column. I'm not doing yes or no. I'm going to do a choice. Renewable contracts. Just going to make the choice yes or no. Okay. Default value, none. More options. Required information is always yes, and save. Okay. So I've got 4 columns now. Departments, contracts, renewable contracts. So I've got 4 columns from my taxonomy. My 4 columns from my taxonomy. Do I have the next page? Okay. Okay. If you want to delete any of your columns, if you're experimenting and you made some spelling mistakes, or you want to delete a column, one way is, okay, column settings, column settings, this one, edit, and delete, if you want to delete. And it's gone. Okay. That's 10 pages of the week 5 workbook.